In the 14th century, Europe faced a problem that gold and silver alone could no longer solve. Trade was expanding, distances were growing, and the economy was becoming more complex. Money still existed mainly as metal, but transporting it was increasingly dangerous, slow, and expensive. Merchants needed a new way to work with money, one that was faster, safer, and scalable. It was the merchants who became the true financial innovators of this era. They were the first to realize that wealth was not about how much gold sat in a chest, but about the ability to manage the flow of money. Long-distance trade between cities and regions required trust, calculation, and coordination. This is where the earliest forms of credit emerged. Merchants began lending to one another against future profits, sharing risk and accelerating the movement of capital. One of the most important innovations was the bill of exchange. A merchant could deposit money in one city and receive a document that allowed him to withdraw the same value in another. This meant that money no longer had to travel physically. Value could move without metal. For the first time in history, money began to separate from gold and silver and exist as a promise, as a written obligation. The centers of this transformation were the great Italian trading cities, Florence, Venice, and Genoa. Here, the first banking houses appeared. At the beginning, they focused on currency exchange, safekeeping of funds, and settling payments between merchants. Over time, their role expanded. Banks became intermediaries between those who had capital and those who needed it. During this period, another crucial financial innovation emerged: double-entry bookkeeping. In 1494, Luca Pacioli described a system in which every transaction was recorded as both income and expense. This allowed merchants and bankers to track money, debts, and profits with precision. Finance stopped being chaotic and became manageable. It is important to understand that these early banks were not modern institutions. They did not issue national currencies or control state economies, but they achieved something fundamental. They transformed money into a system of records, obligations, and trust. The economy began to function not only on metal, but on information. The merchants and bankers of the 15th century laid the foundation for a new financial era. Money became faster, more mobile, and more abstract. This shift made the next stage possible, the moment when states, kings, and wars would enter finance. And from that point on, money would no longer be just a tool of trade, but an instrument of power.